Or how do tacos start grace before every meal? Let us pray. I know, folks, I know I can hear the moaning and the groaning, but trust me when I tell you it's relevant to the recipe that we're going to be working on in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back, everyone, to the Jack and Mo Cooking Show, where we put the home back in home cooking. And welcome to my home, which also doubles as the Jack and Mo Cooking Show test kitchen.
And studio.
And studio. So, before we get started, I just want to say hello to our friend Mike. Hello, friend Mike.
Hello, friend Jack.
How are things going? How was your week?
That was okay.
Mike is the guy who does the magic that makes me look good. And let me tell you, folks, that's a hard job. Next to impossible.
Hi.
And Mike does a really good job at it. So what we're going to do today, folks, is we're going to do some recipes. We got a request, Mike, about a week or so ago. We had a gentleman check in with us on Facebook and ask us if we could do some recipes that are lean, mean, and high in protein for those folks who are living a healthy, fit lifestyle or trying to get into a healthy, fit lifestyle. So we've got 3 recipes. So what I did was I reached out to the good folks at OB Training. OB Training is a local fitness facility, and they have what's called the Take Back Your Life Challenge. It's a 6-week program that basically centers on 3 pillars. They work on nutrition, training, and accountability. So with regard to nutrition, they give you a meal plan. They give you a food list of what you can include in different meals throughout the day. They also give you a cookbook with different recipes that incorporates the foods from the meal plan. Now the training, they have professional trainers who teach classes all throughout the week, and they're comprehensive, and I've heard that they're a lot of fun. It's work, but it's for a good cause. It's to get your life back. And now the third thing is the accountability. So with the accountability, they have a closed Facebook group for the members, and they have a trainer go live once a week to address any problems anyone's having. They ask you to fill out a food log throughout the week and post the food log to the group, and they review it, and they go over any challenges people might have, they answer any questions you might have, and they give tips and advice. So it's a really great program, folks. And if you're interested, if you want more information, you can contact Alicia at 315-765-6332, or you can email her at alicia@obtraining.com. So they gave us 3 recipes to work with today. So the first one is going to be chicken tacos. So yes, even though you're trying to get into a fitness program, you can still have chicken tacos. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our chicken. Okay? So what we did with our chicken is we seasoned it with just a little bit of olive oil. Start out with just a tiny bit of olive oil, maybe like a teaspoon. And then what we're going to do is we're going to season it with a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper.
Was that any special salt? Like
Nope.
sea salt, kosher salt?
Nope.
Regular
Just
table
regular
salt?
table salt. And a little bit of pepper. And then we put this in the oven for 45 minutes at 350 degrees, or until it has an internal temperature of 160 degrees. So we're going to set this aside because, as Mike likes to say, through the magic of television, we already have a cooked chicken breast. So we're going to turn our heat on a little bit, and we're going to start with a half a cup of refried beans.
Just store-bought?
Yep, just a can of refried beans. In fact,
Anything special about them?
Nope.
Nope, they're not fat-free or vegetarian?
Nope.
Okay.
In fact, they're the store brand. Okay. And then we're going to put in some chopped green onions. About a half a cup. Folks, we're going to list the ingredients and the exact amount in the video, as well as in the description, and maybe even in the comments. Okay, now we're going to put in some pico de gallo. Now this is important. When you're choosing salsa or pico de gallo, make sure it's as sugar-free and chemical-free as possible, and it's just tomatoes, onions, water, and natural ingredients. You know, you don't want the high sugar salsas.
And if you're like me, you want the no cilantro salsas.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so we're going to let that warm up. And we're going to stir it up just a little bit. And we just want that to get nice and warm so we can spread it onto our lettuce. See, I told you the joke was going to be relevant sooner or later. So instead of taco shells, instead of tortilla shells, we're going to use lettuce as our taco shell. And you know what, Mike? I'm going to season this with a little more salt and pepper.
Sounds good.
Now, I know Mike likes things spicy hot.
I do.
So, per the recipe, we can also put in some hot chili flakes. And I'm going to pick them up. Okay. And can you smell that yet, Mike?
No, not yet, actually.
Yeah, we want the beans to melt and get nice and kind of gooey. Okay. Mike, would you like some hot sauce in there?
I would. I don't know about you.
Well, you know, I'll live like dangerously. Okay, now comes the tricky part, folks, or at least it's tricky for me, because I'm not the most coordinated person in the world. We're going to take our... Why don't we get a shot of that, Mike?
Looks good.
See that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to put some of this mixture on our lettuce leaves. This is just a head of lettuce, nothing special about it, from the produce department at the grocery store. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. So yeah, folks, I highly recommend OB Training. Their trainers are fantastic. They are very much invested in you and helping you meet your fitness goals. The nutrition is certainly doable, and the accountability of, you know, you weigh in once a week, you keep your food log, and you know, you have the Facebook Live with the coaches, and the coaches are always available to you before and after the training sessions. And it gives you an opportunity, a window to take back your life and get fit, get healthy, and start a new journey. So thank you, OB Training, for providing us with these recipes as requested by one of our viewers. Okay. Now the only thing left to do is we're going to take about 6 ounces of chicken or so. And top each of our lettuce leaves. And one of the great things about the program, because you're not in it alone, there's a lot of other people who are also trying to take back their life and involved in the challenge, and y'all kind of pull for each other.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, and that is our chicken tacos. How easy was that?
That seemed pretty easy, Jack.
One for Mike. One for Jack.
Knock this bad boy down. See what they taste like.
2 for Mike. 2 for Jack.
I can eat too. I still have work to do.
So why don't you go ahead and try it, Mike? While you're doing that, I'm gonna try mine as well, and then we're gonna transition to our next recipe. What do you think, Mike?
No, I like these.
Not a bad alternative. Oh, let me just mention to you too, the tacos, for the folks who are in the program, make for a great dinner recipe. Okay, so this next recipe is tuna stuffed tomatoes. So what I've done is I've cut the tops off of 2 tomatoes. I've hollowed out the inside. I took the core and the tops and I chopped them into this bowl. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to mix in 1.5 cans of tuna. We got some parsley, some capers, chopped celery, and some balsamic vinegar. I like balsamic vinegar, Mike.
Just plain balsamic?
Yep.
Nothing.
Nope. Okay, so we're going to mix that up.
What kind of tomatoes did you use?
Just regular tomatoes.
Regular big tomatoes.
Big ones, yep.
Like your beefsteak.
Yep. Exactly. So, Mike, this might be a good time to start talking about the prophecies of a single parent. So, for anyone who's new to the Jack and Mo Cooking Show or checking in on us on Facebook Live for the first time, every week we talk a little bit about tips and ideas and advice to help kids adjust to being now going from one household to 2 households, from one parent's home to another parent's home. So this week I want to talk about transitions. When Morgan was growing up, I had Morgan 2 nights a week and every other weekend. So I would pick her up Tuesday night, right after work, bring her home, take her to school the next day, do it again on Wednesday. So we established a routine for when we get here. Now, if you can sit down with the other parent and work out a routine that's similar in both households, fantastic. But if you can't, having a different routine, as long as it's consistent when they're in your home, is okay. So our routine was, Morgan got here, she started working on her homework, I started making dinner. After dinner, she helped me make her lunch, helped me pick out her clothes for the next day, and then we had a little together time, we did some reading, time to get ready for bed, went through the bedroom routine, and then next morning got her up, and actually I got her up twice. I woke her up and then 5 minutes later woke her up again. Okay, so now what we're going to do with our mixture is we're going to fill up our tomatoes. And then she would get ready for school while I made breakfast, talked a little bit during breakfast about how school is going, how her life is going, any challenges she's having, any positive things that are going on, and then off to school we would go. And we would try to stay as consistent to that routine as we possibly could, because doing that helped to reduce her stress and anxiety of being in 2 households. So the moral of that story, boys and girls, is to do whatever you can possibly do to reduce stress for the children. Because as hard as it is for you, it's harder for them. Right, Mike?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Does this recipe just make 2, or what's?
No, you can make as many as you want. You see, I got a lot of filling left over.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I could have
I'll
done
check the
another
recipe.
Yeah, I could have done another tomato.
All right.
You know. So there you go. And that's probably going to be my lunch today.
All right.
So tuna stuffed tomatoes.
It's probably almost dinner time, right?
Yeah. Lean, mean, and high protein. And there's not a lot of work involved here, folks. You can make these ahead of time, put them in the refrigerator, have them ready. Pre-planning is a big key to success in any nutrition program or any dieting program or just eating in general. Next recipe is a tuna and avocado salad. Couldn't be easier. We have a 1.5 cans of tuna fish, and it's tuna in water. Before Mike asked me if it's any special kind of tuna.
I'm just making sure.
I know.
because you're going to get those questions.
Yep, absolutely. And we have some chopped celery. Speaking of questions, have we gotten any?
No.
Got a half cup of chopped lettuce, some chopped avocado. This was going to be my dinner or lunch today because Mike is not a fan of avocados.
No, I am not.
As we learned from the Mexican food episode we did a while back. Some flat leaf parsley, and we have some minced cucumber. And there is your tuna and avocado salad. So we have chicken tacos, tuna and avocado salad, and tomato stuffed with tuna. Never forget and always remember, you can tuna piano, but you cannot tuna fish. Ba-boom. Okay.
Maybe that's a good note to leave on.
Well, there you go, folks.
I always wanted more.
Yep.
I was just joking. You don't have to.
That's okay. No, we're done. That's our 3 recipes for today for lean, mean, high in protein. Thank you, OB Training, for helping us out with those recipes. And again, if you're interested in speaking to Alicia over there, it's 315-765-6332, or you can email her at alicia@obtraining.com. So that's a wrap for this episode of the Jack and Mo Cooking Show. We just want to recognize some folks that help us make this whole thing happen. Our produce team is led by Mr. Broccoli, with Mr. Tom Mato, Mr. Paul Tato, and Miss Polly Flower. Our meat man is Mr. Phil Philly Mignon. Our dessert team is Miss Sherry Flambe, and Milton, we call him Milt Shake. Our legal eagle is Mr. Thomas Dewey Jr. from Dewey, Cheatham and Howe. Our insurance man is Mr. Ben E. Fishery. And last, but certainly not least, is our man behind the camera, Michael Sugar Cane. And on behalf of myself, Miss Mo, and Michael, we just want to say happy cooking. Have a great day.